I recorded a few videos recently on a segment of the internet called the Red Pill, which basically features a lot of guys trying to figure out their sexual issues, their issues in relationships, their relationships with women, trying to better themselves. It's a pretty controversial little part of the internet, and I found myself recently, for reasons that I'm not quite sure of, wading into these controversial topics. In today's video, I want to keep it really brief. I guess I just wanted to share, I think, the best quote about the red pill that I've ever heard that changed my relationship to the red pill. And if you're interested in the red pill, if you've been flirting with the red pill, I think this could be thought-provoking. My name is Zachary Stockill, and since 2013, I've been helping men and women from around the world overcome retroactive jealousy, overcome obsessive jealousy, and save their relationships. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, or you'd like more information about my work, please visit my website at retroactivejealousy.com. Okay, so the red pill. There is an American political commentator who I really get a kick out of. Interesting guy, a lot of really interesting views. His name is Michael Malice. And I was watching a podcast, I think it was the Lex Fridman podcast, which is excellent, by the way. Anyway, I was watching his appearance on, I think, that podcast, and he summed up his thoughts about the red pill in relation to politics. So this term, this phraseology, the red pill, is also used in relation to politics. In other words, seeing politics through a completely different lens. And the quote was this: "You take one red pill, not the whole bottle." There are a lot of guys on the internet who are in a lot of pain. And I can certainly relate to that. I can certainly empathize with that. I understand what it's like to be a man and to be in pain and to feel disappointed and hurt by women. And so a lot of these guys find the red pill. They find really different, contrarian, alternative ways of looking at relationships and sex and women and dating and all the rest. And many of them find some good ideas in that section of the internet. I have found some good ideas in that section of the internet. Ideas that used to not be that controversial. Ideas like there can be a beautiful side to masculinity. It is not all toxic. Women like strong men. Women like leaders. Evolutionary psychology can offer us all kinds of insights into male-female relations. These are just a handful, but there are a lot of good ideas in the red pill that are actually helpful to men. Because frankly, a lot of men need to man up. A lot of men need to be the men that their women want them to be. A lot of men need to shrug off and reject a lot of the nonsense social programming and cultural influences that try to discourage them from owning their masculine impulses, that try to discourage them from becoming better men. I agree with so much of that. So there are a lot of good ideas in the red pill, and I could do a whole video just talking about that. But there are a lot of ideas and frankly personalities and a certain schadenfreude, I think, in the red pill. Schadenfreude is a German word, if you don't know, that basically means taking pleasure in other people's pain. And there are a lot of angry, spiteful men who, it seems to me, are lashing out at women, taking pleasure in female pain. And that part of the red pill, I can't identify with at all. I can't really empathize with it all. My point is simply, like anything else in life, take the good ideas and leave the rest. Because the whole idea of the red pill is very seductive in a lot of ways. And more broadly, I think with the internet this has gotten a lot worse, but a lot of people really like the idea of belonging to the secret club, where they have all the secret answers about politics and the Illuminati and men and women and sexual dynamics and all the rest. It's kind of a seductive idea to think that you've got the cheat codes to life, or dating, or sex and relationships, or you've got the cheat codes to understanding political reality. But it's dangerous to take that too far, I have a buddy who's very interested in conspiracy theories. I love him to death, but it can get a bit much sometimes. There is no political story that he sees that he can't try to sneak in a conspiratorial element to it, or look at different ways of looking at it and think this is a conspiracy and that's the Illuminati and this is the Great Reset and all this stuff. And of course, I think it's very healthy to be a critical thinker. I like to think of myself as a critical thinker, to be a skeptic, to not accept things at face value. But at the same time, it's dangerous to take that idea too far and to paint with a brush where everything is a conspiracy and everything is, mysterious and there's no truth in anyone and all of the news is lying and all women are terrible. And you get my point. To take certain truths or certain facts that you've learned or certain ideas that you find helpful and to blow them up into something that they're not, to paint with too broad a brush and to ignore the nuance of everyday life, to ignore the nuance of any topic, any subject, any issue. You take one red pill, not the whole bottle. Because a lot of these guys find the red pill and they spend so much time in these echo chambers. And I've been in these forums, I know what they're like, where there's all kinds of infighting and ad hominems and personal attacks and a lot of spite and, again, a lot of schadenfreude, a lot of men taking pleasure in female suffering. And I think it's a really dangerous idea for a lot of guys. My general take on learning from anyone is take the best and leave the rest. I think that ideologues are the great enemies in our time. I think that ideology in general is the pathway to hell. We need to keep an open mind. We need to be open to challenging many of our deeply held beliefs. And no one thinker or no one school of thought, no one philosophy, no one book, no one YouTuber has all the answers about everything. Sometimes people write to me and they're kind of treating me a bit like a guru, you know? It's like the Tony Robbins thing. And I am definitely not a guru. I am wrong, I'm sure, about all kinds of things that I don't even realize that I'm wrong about right now. If you found some of my ideas really helpful, that's fantastic. That makes me feel great. If you reject other of my ideas, that's also fine. What I'm saying here is avoid ideologies, because I really believe that ideologies are responsible for so many of the problems and polarization in our society today. There's an expression that people often use when they're talking about someone. They'll introduce this person, they'll say, now I don't agree with everything he says, but and then they'll share the point that they actually do agree with. And to my mind, what a crazy way to introduce someone. Because I don't know about you, but I don't agree with everything anyone says. I don't agree with everything I say. As Bob Dylan said, don't follow leaders. You know, don't go looking for people to have all the answers, to provide you with all the inspiration and guidance for your entire life. If you're struggling with retroactive jealousy and you found many of my ideas helpful, that's fantastic. That's great. If you found other ideas helpful from another YouTuber or another course or another author, that's also fantastic. Take the best and leave the rest. Take what works for you, take what's actually helpful and productive, and reject anything that doesn't help. And for any men flirting with the red pill, again, you take one red pill, be careful about taking the full bottle. Because I've met some men in my travels who did take the full bottle and who are now pretty miserable as a result. They're not getting the results from women that they want. They're angry and spiteful and embittered, and they won't let any woman get close to them because they're so terrified about being hurt. It's a pretty lonely, pretty dark path to go down. So I hope, if nothing else, this video has given you a little bit to think about if you're flirting with the red pill. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me today. If you got anything out of this video, please take a minute to let me know by clicking the like button below. Please leave a comment as well telling me what you think. And please be sure to hit the subscribe button as well. I know it's annoying. The YouTubers do that all the time, but believe it or not, it really does help the algorithm. This is the only way, unfortunately, that our message will spread. So if you did get anything out of this video, please do something that I just said. I would appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.